What's up guys, Man Pander, we're back again, and this is the Ho Chi Minh travel guide for you. Hit the intro. In this tour guide, we're going to go through things to see, places to go, some banging food, and of course, because Ho Chi Minh City is very big, the things that we missed off, I've got for you at the end so that you don't miss them. Let's do this.
If you're looking for some nightlife, Bui Vien Street is where the parties are at. It's loud, chaotic, and full of life. Perfect for a fun night out. With loud music, neon retro lights, and very cheap drinks available here, a good time is almost guaranteed. With live bands, DJs, and general bars down the street and the odd food place, even if you're not a party person, people watching here is great fun for an hour or so just to soak up the lively atmosphere. If partying isn't your thing and a more educational experience is what you're after, you're also in luck. The War Remnants Museum is a must visit to understand Vietnam's history, but fair warning, this museum honestly doesn't hold back. The exhibits are powerful, showing the real impact of war on Vietnam and its people. With weapons, munitions, graphic photos, historical descriptions, and more, this place is essential for anyone wanting to understand not only the past, but also a bit about Vietnamese culture as well. This is good before or after Cu Chi tunnels, but builds on them together and really solidifies the significance of this not so distant past. Building on the museum, there is a tour perfectly complementing this, as we said, and that's Cu Chi tunnels itself. It's just outside the city, whereby Cu Chi tunnels gives you a taste of Vietnam's wartime resilience. You can even crawl through these tiny passages that they were adjusted for tourists. You can even feel the claustrophobic feeling they probably did in the war, however, these tunnels are double in size. Madness. You must get a tour guide for this place to truly understand and also appreciate the history and importance of this place. It can be quite unsettling, however, paired with the War Remnants Museum, this is a history masterclass of the reality of Vietnam 50 years ago.
Couldn't help but laugh at this, guys. Right, so I'm in the toilet right now, and they're playing this really calm, chill music, and in the background they're just like loads of gunshots. I thought it was pretty cool.
Naturally, doing all these tours and sightseeings, you probably will get hungry at some point, and this is where the lunch lady comes in. The lunch lady is legendary. Her rotating menu of noodle soups was even featured by Chef Anthony Bourdain. And for an absolute must try, you can't leave without having a bowl of mi quang, or her daily soup specialty. Should street food not be your thing, or you require a warm beverage to wash that food down, then the nearby apartment cafe is a great stop. This old apartment block has been transformed into a maze of cool cafes and boutiques, with every floor has a new surprise. With solid views over Ho Chi Minh City in the pricier cafes at the front, and a bit more of a unique vibe in some of the backroom ones here too, it's definitely worth stopping by if you need some more caffeine in your daily holiday antics. Whilst there is better food and drinks to be had elsewhere, you come here for the experience and the novelty of it, making it worth to stop by at least once. Whilst we have discussed a little bit of tours and activities in Ho Chi Minh City to do, what about the more chill and cheaper options? Well, there's Turtle Pond and Bookstreet. Turtle Pond is a chill hangout spot within the city centre, however without turtles. And just around the corner is Bookstreet, where you'll find cute cafes and endless books to browse. With English and Vietnamese books here, you will find a book here that will take your fancy. With cafes here dotted around, this is a great place to embrace the Vietnamese coffee culture with a side of books. Since there's a lot of foot traffic here too, this is a great place to people watch. Should you be reflecting a bit on your adventures here in Vietnam, overlooking Bookstreet, then perhaps telling your friends about it in an old school way is an idea with the famous post office here. Built during the French colonial era, these landmarks are perfect for a quick stop and some great photos. This is a popular place for those that want to send postcards back to their families and friends, as it's still a functional post office. Now, if you're wanting to build on the colonial past with additional buildings and landmarks, then Ho Chi Minh Statue and Opera House is just a short walk away. You'll find the Opera House, an elegant reminder of Saigon's colonial past in the more upmarket part of the city. Right next to it, the Ho Chi Minh Statue stands proudly in front of the City Hall. This is a popular place with tourists and the Vietnamese from other cities nearby, and is nice to see in both the daytime and lit up at night. Outside the Opera House was a wedding photo shoot, which adds to the always something going on here kind of vibe. If you're loving the hustle and bustle of the city and want a more madness and a little bit more of a hectic antics, then no trip to Ho Chi Minh City is complete without visiting Man Market. It's touristy but fun. However, for a more local feel, check out some of the smaller neighborhood markets where the real deals are. Whilst the knockoff clothing, souvenirs, and everything else here are a bit pricey compared to the lesser known markets and other markets in different Vietnamese cities, the atmosphere is still great, and some solid food and drinks can still be had here at a reasonable price. It's worth stopping by if you want to get some souvenirs or a light snack. Just remember to haggle in this market for the non-food related things. Should street food not be your thing, then I've got two quality suggestions for you. If you're craving a meat-heavy meal, then Quay Vinh Phong will have you satisfied. For delicious and succulent duck or pork belly, then this is the place for you. With locals constantly queuing up here before we got here and until we left, this is good for a reason.
Right, I can confirm this place is so good. You must come here.
If you're after something a bit more formal and sit down, then Bros Korea is definitely the place. Amazing value and quality Korean barbecue in the heart of Saigon with lots to choose from. The atmosphere is lively and feels amazing. Great for families or large groups of friends you're traveling with. Red meat, poultry, fish or shellfish, this place has it all.
Right guys, I'm not gonna lie, that was banging, honestly. So good. Totally would recommend coming here. Amazing.
If after a long day of exploring and eating your way around the city and you're still not tired, then perhaps a consideration for the Japanese Saigon area is needed. Japantown is a mix of cozy cocktails, great ramen spots, and, well, let's just be blunt, it has a red light reputation too. Walking around here felt a lot more premium compared to some of the other red light areas in Southeast Asia, like Bangkok and Cambodia. If the red light aspect isn't for you, there are still some solid looking Japanese restaurants here to indulge in for another day. It's worth noting though that this wasn't the cheap part of town. Should the city, however, get a bit too much for you, whether that be during the day, night, or both, then a trip to Canton to experience the floating market of Cai Rang is in order. It's a bit of a trip from Ho Chi Minh City, but totally worth it. The Canton Floating Market is where vendors sell everything from fresh produce to hot bowls of noodle soup right on the water. It is more of a touristy thing now than an authentic floating market. However, there are people there operating tours that have been on the water for their whole lives still. Whilst things naturally are a little pricey compared to the inland counterparts, it's a nice experience to be had for a few hours early in the morning. If you want a nice night's sleep and rather not wake up at the crack of dawn, then Ho Chi Minh City has plenty of places to stay. From budget hostels to luxury hotels, picking a spot near District 1 is the best for overall access to the city. Do note that the best, most value for money places, regardless of your budget, will sell out, and booking in advance is advised. Regardless of where you are staying in the city, however, getting around Ho Chi Minh City is easy. There's a brand new metro service, affordable taxis, and of course, the chaotic but fun motorbike scene. Downloading Grab app and Zan app is a must for quick, on-the-go and scam-free taxis. If you feel like an adventure, then the metro is an option. They only have one line as the rest is still being built, however it was insane value for money, and I recommend trying it. As it's new, it's still clean, graffiti-free and on time, although time will tell if it suffers the same fate as most Western metros do. Naturally, as Ho Chi Minh City is so big, we didn't have the time to do everything. However, here are some things we marked on our map but didn't have time to see or do. Dam Sen Water Park, Tu Tan Assembly Hall, Cholon Chinatown, Museum of Traditional Vietnamese Medicine, the venerable Tek Quang Duc Monument, Independence Palace, Saigon Skydeck, Meta Show, Sala Urban Park, Landmark 81, Van Tan Tourist Park, Black Virgin Mountain. And that's a wrap on your ultimate Ho Chi Minh City guide. If you're still watching to the end, then you definitely enjoyed this video and thus should hit the like and subscribe button below. Feel free to comment any hidden gems of the city you've heard of so that I can add them to my list next time I visit. Until then, Man Pander Weekly Tour Guides, tschüss.